Let's hit a topic today that confuses probably every single person that's ever filled a prescription ever in the history, at least since I can remember. And it's this it's when you go to a pharmacy, I go to Kroger, just to give you an example, and you hand them your insurance card, and the price they give you is higher than if you had just paid cash or if you had used one of these discount services like GoodRx or WellRx. And I don't even mean like a little higher. Sometimes it's dramatically higher. And most people assume, oh, maybe this is a mistake. Maybe they didn't file it correct with my insurance. Well, almost always it's not a mistake. If you understand why insurance works like this, you really have to look at the prescription pricing and how it works with the US market right now. The price of a drug isn't just one number, right? It's multi-layered and there's a pathway to it. So this is Ansel with about a 7-minute Medicare minute. Let's jump right into this. So let's talk about most consumers, right? Most consumers think that the way insurance works is as if it were a manufacturer's coupon, right? The assumption is you're going to get a prescription wrote from a physician, you're going to go fill that at a pharmacy, insurance is going to pay its part, and then you will pay the rest. So the total cost must be lower than if you were to cash pay. And the logic behind that makes sense. Why are you paying so much for insurance in the first place if it's going to be more expensive than cash pay? But pharmacy benefits don't run on retail pricing logic. They run on the different contract pricing logic that they have. And the problem is that contract lives inside of something called a PBM. We talked about this the other day. PBM stands for Pharmacy Benefits Manager. Now, these are people that sit in between the insurance company, the pharmacy, the drug actual manufacturer themselves. And the purpose of their job is to negotiate drug prices, to help build formularies and decide the reimbursement rates to give. They also deal with other things like processing prescription claims, but this is really where I want to live on this video at least. So when your prescription is run through an insurance company, the PBM determines what that price will be. It's not the pharmacy's choice, right? It's not your doctor's choice. It's not even your insurance company's choice directly, like in that exact moment. The PBM contract controls the actual set price number that pharmacy can offer your prescription at. What most people don't seem to understand is the copay that you have isn't always tied to what the pharmacy's real cost is. It's tied to how your insurance plan's design benefit works with that drug and that pharmacy. So your plan may say, listen, we're going to give you you're going to have a $20 copay on generics and a $50 copay on a preferred brand. And if it's non-preferred, it's a $90 copay. Those numbers don't just change because the pharmacy got the drug cheaper this month than they did last year. So imagine with me this. You're at a pharmacy and that pharmacy bought a prescription you're looking to fill. Let's say they paid $4 for it. And they're willing to sell that prescription cash for $10. But your plan's generic copay is $20. So if you use your insurance, because of how you're filed, you have to pay a $20 copay, even though the pharmacy's willing to get rid of that prescription without insurance for $10. So because the system follows the contract that you have and not the market price, pharmacies will often discount common generics aggressively. And why do they do this? Well, there's several reasons. Probably the first reason would be because they get bulk purchasing, right? That lowers their acquisition cost of that prescription in the first place. And then they compete with these big chains like CVS and Walmart and Kroger, and they want customer retention. And those cheap generics bring foot traffic because more people are on them, let's be honest. Now, the pharmacy may voluntarily price the drug lower than what your insurance company's copay actually is. But once insurance becomes involved, they have to follow the PBM reimbursement structure. So you've got two completely different pricing systems and two completely different pricing strategies. And this is probably one of the main reasons why the US drug system feels so confusing in general, because there's not one set determined price for every age, every insurance company and every drug. There's multiple layers. You've got the manufacturer's list price, you've got negotiated rebate prices, which are hidden, you've got PBM contract prices, which are hidden, the pharmacy's acquisition costs, the actual insurance copay structure, depending on which carrier and plan you went with, and then the retail cash pricing without insurance in general. And all of these things are different usually, or at least they can be different. So two patients standing next to each other, buying the exact same prescription, one with this pharmacist, one with that pharmacist, can pay completely different amounts. Not because the drug is different or one's a capsule and one's a tablet, though that could change things. We're talking same milligram strength, same form that you're taking that prescription in. It's just a different pathway that you're using to fill that drug. So if your insurance price then is ever higher than what you would pay for a cash price, I wouldn't assume something's wrong. Probably what this means is the insurance pathway that you're using and the pharmacy's retail pathway have produced different numbers. And if they're dramatic enough, it's not a glitch. I mean, it could be, but it's most likely not a glitch. It's just how the current structure works in U.S. drug retail and manufacturing and products.